right, so quick story. There was a trip my family and I just came back from recently. The flight got in really late, so we were hungry, right? By the time we got home, everybody was cranky. But then it was so late that we couldn't really have a full dinner, right? And so we figured out what snacks can we have so that we can go to bed and not wake up hungry. So this episode really is going to be talking about my 5 top snacks to have before bed. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Funke Afolabi-Brown, and I'm the founder of Restful Sleep MD and the Restful Sleep Place. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so now because we share so much valuable information and I do not want you to miss out. All right, back to this question. I get it all the time, which is that, you know what? I go to bed and I'm okay. And about 2 a.m., I wake up and I'm starving. And that's after having dinner. And it feels like I had a heavy dinner and I'm just really not sure what to do. And I hear this from kids. I hear this from their parents. I hear this from everybody. So the thing about it is when we talk about healthy sleep habits, one of the things we focus on is that you should be eating probably about 2 or 3 hours before bedtime. I mean, by eating, I mean your dinner, right? You don't want to eat like something heavy, a large bowl of pasta and steak and all of that right before bed because it's going to cause a lot of issues with you being able to stay asleep. You're going to wake up uncomfortable. But sometimes when we talk about 2 to 3 hours, especially if you have a young kid, by the time it's time for them to go to bed, maybe at 7:30 or 8 p.m., sometimes they're hungry. And what's that going to do? It's going to cause delayed bedtime, right? It's going to cause a situation where they might wake up in the middle of the night and they're hungry and now you're really at a loss for what to do, right? Because now they're fully awake. And the same thing happens to parents as well, where I've had parents say, you know what, I was so exhausted. I didn't even bother having any dinner. I just went straight to bed. And they now notice they're constantly waking up. And when they wake up in the middle of the night, they go straight to the kitchen and maybe they fix a bowl of said pasta and steak, right? Because they're so hungry. And then that makes it hard to fall asleep. So the thing about it is when we're talking about having snacks before bed, I think you can actually make it part of your routine. In fact, for young kids, I recommend that you start with a feed or a snack before they go upstairs to start their bedtime routine. Why is that? Because you want them to have a slight sense of fullness before bed. I mean, not so full where their sleep is disrupted, but that way they know they had a snack. Now, a nutritious snack is important. So listen, cotton candy does not qualify as a nutrition snack or chocolate or whatever, right? So I want to share some of my, go-to snacks that really is packed full of nutrition. It's packed full of so many antioxidants. It's packed full of all the essential nutrients that you or your child need to be able to fall asleep and to be able to stay asleep. Okay. Now, the reason why this is important is that if you eat something that's super high in sugar or more like simple carbohydrates, your sugar level is going to go up, right? You're going to feel that sense of, oh, yeah, I have this burst of energy. But the problem is that it's going to be metabolized so quickly that you're going to be hungry in the middle of the night. So you might have heard things like, well, eat more complex carbs, eat foods that are, highly high in protein. But what does that even mean? So let me give you some examples. And my goal really is you don't have to replicate this exactly, but you can at least get a sense of when you're going shopping, what you could pick up. And also when your kid says, hey, I'm hungry, these are the kind of snacks that you might want to consider giving them before bed. And this, honestly, even if you go to bed late, this is something that's fine because it's going to fill you up without that excessive sense of fullness where you're now like having reflux or things like that. So number one favorite is Greek yogurt and some berries. Why do I like that? Now, Greek yogurt is very high in protein, right? So that will give you a sense of fullness. If you're like me, I'm not a fan of plain Greek yogurt. I don't know. It just has never gone well for me. And so really, I try to mix it with some fruit. So it might be blueberries, maybe a handful of blueberries. And what you're doing with this is berries are a natural form of sweetener. They're super great antioxidants. And so it gives you that sweet feeling with the protein, which helps you to stay full without being too heavy. Number two snack, I would say, is bananas with any kind of butter, either almond butter or peanut butter. Now, why is that a great source of great snack before bed? Bananas are rich in potassium. They're great for you. Now, almond butter, peanut butter are healthy sources of fat and protein. So you're really getting that combination of, sort of sweet, more protein, more filling, really helps with, any cravings. Now, if you're not a fan of banana, you could do this with apple slices. You could do this with any kind of fruit, but that's a really good snack that you might want to consider. Number three that I really like is whole grain toast and maybe some cottage cheese. What is it about whole grain toast? Well, whole grain toast is more of complex carbs, right? So it's very rich in fiber and helps you stay full longer. And then cottage cheese also is proteinaceous. So that's really, really good as well. And so again, we're talking about something to help keep your blood glucose level constant through the night without that sudden crash that you would get from, maybe regular white bread or something of that sort. Number four, this is something I really like, is a handful of mixed nuts. Now, I'm going to say here that for this snack, you definitely don't want to give it to a child who's at the risk of choking. So absolutely avoid that because we don't want them to aspirate. I usually don't recommend nuts or anything of that sort for kids, definitely kids that are under 2 years old. So that's something you may need to be aware of. But for you as an adult, for an older kid, a handful of nuts, of almonds, of walnuts, of cashews, these are incredibly healthy source of fats and protein. And so again, giving you that sense of fullness, helping you stay full for longer. And then number five, that's my final. In fact, that day when we got back from vacation, that's what we had, and that's oatmeal. Oatmeal is an incredibly rich source of fiber. It's really packed full of protein as well, which is really filling. It also has antioxidants and is so good in helping you stay full and helping curb that hunger without you having the sugar crashes that you might have. So that's definitely something you could do. So we had oatmeal. I put some blueberries in there. We went to sleep. And should I tell you, we slept all night long, right? So that's what I want for you. So here you have it, 5 snacks that you can take. If you're feeling hungry and it's close to bedtime, that will eliminate having like slices of pizza, bowls of pasta and things like that that will actually end up keeping you up. So have this in your pantry, have this in your fridge as your go-to snack. You can serve it for yourself. You can feed your kids with it. And that way, hunger, right, does not get in your way of good sleep. Okay, so I wanted to put one plug in because I've heard people tell me, and a lot of social media craze around, the mocktail, like the one where you do the cranberry juice and Sleepy Girl mocktail and things like that. Usually that's a mix of cranberry juice as well as, sometimes to mix it with some magnesium and things like that. Here's what I caution. That does not have much nutritive value. Cranberry juice, depending on how it's processed, could be super high in sugar. So it will give you that high and will probably make you crash. I mean, there have been some studies that show that cranberry juice does contain some melatonin enhancing properties and might actually help you with sleep, but not as a snack. So I just wanted to put that out there while we're talking about this. Another one I'm going to put out there is caffeine. You really want to avoid anything that's caffeinated close to bedtime because caffeine is a stimulant. It stays in your system for so long. It's going to keep you jittery, keep you up and things like that. So the iced tea with dinner has to go. You might want to have that much earlier in the day. That way you have enough time to process it through your body so that you can get the sleep you need. So I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if this is something you're going to try, if this is something you're going to introduce into your kids' bedtime routine and how it's going for you. Again, if this has been of value, do us a favor and help get the word out there. Comment, like, share this, subscribe to our channel, and that really helps with, whatever the algorithm that the YouTube uses so that we could get our message out there. And also, if you are looking for a sleep practice where you feel seen, you want to feel heard, you want to feel cared for, then the Restful Sleep Place is for you. And really the best place to really start to get that work, get started on that sleep journey is to connect with us at our website. It's therestfulsleepplace.com. So again, good seeing you. And until next time, I hope you rest well.